What if I tell you that you're not bad at socializing? You're bad at pretending. When someone asks how you're doing, your brain freezes because saying, "I'm fine," feels like a betrayal. And when everyone else is performing excitement, you're exposed. Not because you don't care, but because you can't fake what you don't feel. And if you've ever wondered why this keeps happening to you, stay with me. Because what's causing it isn't a flaw, and once you understand the psychology behind this, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. While every piece of advice tells you to get better at faking it. Learn to smile more. Practice your enthusiasm. Fake it till you make it. That's solving the wrong problem. Here's what they're missing. Your inability to manufacture emotions isn't a gap in your social skills. It's a feature of your psychological wiring. What does this mean? Every forced conversation drains your battery to zero. Every fake smile costs you real energy. Every pretend interaction leaves you needing hours alone to recover. Your nervous system is screaming at you. It's telling you this person, this place, this interaction has no authentic value. And this is where most people misunderstand everything. People who can't fake feelings run on a completely different neurological reward system. Your brain doesn't release dopamine when people like you. It releases dopamine when interactions feel real. But there's a brutal cost to this wiring that I'll explain in a minute. Most people get their neurochemical reward from social approval. You get yours from authenticity. That's not trauma. That's not social anxiety. That's not something therapy can fix. That's your operating system. Now, here's why this matters more than you think. You've been competing in a game where everyone else has a massive advantage. They can enjoy surface-level chit-chat. You cannot. They can network with people they find boring. You physically cannot. They can maintain relationships through polite performance. Your body literally rejects it. This sounds like pure disadvantage, but it's the opposite. You might have spent a decade thinking something is fundamentally wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just biologically incompatible with shallow connections. Your emotional honesty creates automatic selection pressure. Let me explain what that means. When you can't fake interest, boring people automatically filter themselves out of your life. When you can't fake respect, manipulative people can't get close enough to use you. When you can't fake chemistry, you don't waste years discovering you're incompatible with someone. Most people accumulate hundreds of acquaintances they don't actually like. You end up with few people you'd trust with your life. The feature is automatic quality control at the neurological level. The efficiency is ruthless. The filtering is merciless. But the system works. Now here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. These advantages come with a real price. You will be labeled as cold, arrogant, too intense, difficult to work with. This is the brutal cost I mentioned earlier, because most people can't distinguish between refusing to engage and being unable to perform. They think you're withholding warmth on purpose. They don't understand that you're not choosing to be distant. You're physiologically incapable of generating feelings that aren't there. Every job interview where you couldn't manufacture passion for a role you didn't want. Every social event where you went silent because the conversation had no substance. Every relationship where you couldn't pretend the problems weren't problems. Those weren't your failures. Those were your filtering system, doing exactly what it's designed to do. Which brings us to the real issue. The actual problem isn't that you can't fake your emotions. The problem is that you're trying to function in spaces that require emotional performance to survive. Corporate environments that demand fake enthusiasm for pointless meetings. Social structures built entirely on polite lies. Relationships that need constant emotional theater just to stay functional. Here's where everything changes. The disadvantage becomes your competitive advantage the moment you change the environment. Stop trying to repair your emotional honesty. Start designing a life where emotional honesty is the requirement. remote work instead of office politics, 3 deep friendships instead of 30 shallow ones, 1 real relationship instead of performing through 5 mediocre ones. People who can fake feelings have infinite options. You have limited options. But your limited options are the only ones that won't destroy you. When someone asks how you're doing and you can't give the standard answer, that's not rudeness. That's information. When small talk physically exhausts you, that's not introversion. That's your system telling you this interaction has 0 value. When you can't celebrate achievements you don't believe matter, that's not cynicism. That's integrity. Your body won't let you compromise. Most people perform their entire lives. You are constitutionally incapable of performance, which means you're forced to build something actually real. The people still in your life after 5 years genuinely want to be there. The work you commit to actually aligns with what you value. The energy you spend goes toward truth instead of theater. You've been treating your emotional honesty like a malfunction. It's not a malfunction. It's a filtering system running at maximum efficiency. Most people won't understand it. They'll call you difficult. They'll say you need to lighten up. They'll tell you to just go with the flow. Let them. Because the people who matter will recognize exactly what they're looking at. Someone who refuses to waste a single unit of energy on anything that isn't real. That's not a social deficiency. That's a life philosophy your nervous system enforces automatically. Now you know why forcing it never worked, and why you never needed it to. And if understanding this made you feel a little less alone and a little more seen, then comment on the part that resonated with you most. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can stay connected as we dive deeper into the psychology that explains not just people, but you.